Hey guys, welcome back to This Is What I Do with me, Tsidi Zanda. We've been on a bit of a break, but we are trying to come back slowly but surely. Life was lifing. It's been a long year, but we're trying to come back. I just want to give thanks to some of you that continued to give love, on the socials and asking Tsidi, are you still coming back? Yes, we are coming back. We didn't leave. We just took a little bit of a break. I just want to ask you guys, please. Don't just watch the episodes. Please continue to subscribe. We still need the numbers, especially on our YouTube channel, and continue to follow us on the Instagram channels as well and our TikTok platform so that we continue having our great conversations. Today's guest, I actually found her on TikTok and I thought her content was very interesting. I even asked her to send me some of material, and I was like, this is a great space. I'm excited to have her. Today's guest is Akhuya Mpande. She's an entrepreneur, Air-BnB mentor, and the founder of the Hosting Vault. Akhuya, welcome to This Is What I Do. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Are you good?
I'm very good.
How's the year been for you?
Wow.
It's been a long year.
Mixed emotions about the year,
Yeah.
but grateful that we're coming to the end of it. And yeah, very happy
Yeah.
to be here with you.
Thank you. Thank you for saying yes.
Thank you for inviting me. It's my first podcast, so
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
It's
you.
nerve-wracking.
It is, but you know what? I feel like I'm with someone that I'm comfortable with, so
That's
it's going
great.
to flow.
Thank you. That's how it's supposed to feel like. I mean, if you're comfortable, I'm also comfortable.
Awesome.
Yeah. So how's been the reception now that you've started the hosting? How are people receiving your masterclasses? Just the overall entry into the space. How has it been so far?
You know what's the crazy thing? When I had my first masterclass, I only had 4 people in that masterclass. And I remember thinking to myself, well, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to have 4, then maybe 10, but maybe I'm just going to always have 10 people. But my second masterclass, I had 35 people in that masterclass. And that's when I realized,
Your
oh
second from
my
4.
word. Yes, my second from 4. That's when I realized, okay, it seems a lot of people need this information and clearly people are receiving it quite well. So I was excited to have the numbers, but scared at the same time. But I told myself, at least I know what I'm talking about. So that
Yeah.
should get me through it.
And what inspired you to not just be active in the space, but go as far as starting classes to educate other people that might want to do the same thing?
You know, with the short-term rental space, it's important to have the right information. And that's something that I noticed a lot of people were not doing. People would ask me, okay, you have an Airbnb, I'm sure you're making a lot of money. And that's where a lot of misconceptions are. And I just wanted to clear that and make sure that when someone is coming to the space, they've got a clear perspective of what they are going to be making in the space. And it's not life-changing money,
Yeah.
but it's enough to get you through a few things. And I just wanted to educate and also show people the other businesses that are within the space, because a lot of people are
Yes.
so focused on just, rental arbitrage, and they don't know the other businesses that are within the short-term rental space. And I wanted to give that platform for people to learn more.
And when you were starting, did you have your Akhuyas of the world that made the introduction to the space a bit easy for you? How was it when you were starting?
It wasn't easy at all.
The information wasn't there.
There wasn't, well, there may have been information, but I didn't get my hands on it. So that meant I had a lot of lessons as I got through the business. I learned a lot by myself. And when I started, I was just 8 months pregnant with my baby. So it was almost like I really need this money and I just need to start. So starting like that is not the
Yeah.
smartest of ways to start in the short-term rental space. You want to have enough information, and that's something that I didn't have. So the 4 years of practice before I actually opened the hosting vault allows me to then deliver as much information as I can and
Yeah.
teach people what I learned. I always say it takes 3 years to get a degree. 4 years is an honor, so I have an honors in this field.
That's a great way to look at it. That's a great way to look at it. Tell us a
Yeah.
bit about yourself. Who is Akhuya and where are you from? Tell us about what little Akhuya was doing growing up.
I like to call myself a Joburgian. So I'm born and bred in the heart of Joburg, Winchester to be
Okay.
specific. And Did my schooling here in Gauteng, varsity at the University of Witwatersrand. I'm a mom, very excited to mention
Yes.
that. I'm a young mom and a wife. But I think the one thing that defines me best is a businesswoman. I embody that with everything in me,
That's
and
awesome.
I have a lot of confidence in what I do, and I feel like it's what I'm called to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And growing up, there's always those people that we grew up around that we admire. And you would look at him or her and you think, man, I want to be him or her. Who was that for you?
I think for a lot of people, it's always the celebrities, right? But for me, it's my grandmother. Funny enough, it's my grandmother. I always say she's the strongest woman
You
I
know?
ever knew.
Yeah.
And I think the business part of things, I learned it from her and just her resilience and her strength. So she's the one person that I really looked up to and wanted to impress.
What business was she in?
She used to sell clothes.
Nice.
She used to sell clothes. She used to go all the way to Botswana and stock up some clothes and come back to South Africa and sell clothes.
Oh,
So I think seeing her doing that really
yeah.
made me think, oh, wow, so there is that
It's
side. Yes,
possible.
it's possible to do that. Also, growing up, seeing a lot of professionals around, but then she just did that and she did it so well. So my grandmother takes the cup.
You know what? A lot of very few people have said Kanye West inspired me. It's always real people, uncle, a teacher. So your example is very much, a very common reply
That's
we
good.
get
I thought
to
maybe they
this
would expect me
answer.
to say, I don't know, some
Oprah,
celebrity. Yeah,
Beyonce.
no, not even.
No. Akhuya, for anyone who doesn't know, haven't come across your platform or doesn't know what the introduction means, what would you say you do for a living? What do you do?
Yo, that's always the hardest question to
Now
answer.
this is when the
This is
podcast
what I
begins.
do.
Yes.
Um, what can I say? I feel like I am. Maybe let's start with what the hosting vault is. I think
Okay.
if I answer it that way, then it would
Yeah.
make it easier to eventually say what I do. So the hosting vault is an e-learning platform more than anything. It's an e-learning platform that is meant to give guidance to people that have never, ever heard anything about the short-term rental space and what it is and how you do business in the short-term rental space.
Okay.
Our introductory classes really make it easy for anyone to understand. I always say my teaching methods are one of the easiest. I teach like I teach a 5-year-old. I make sure you understand.
Ideally, it's supposed to be like that.
Yes. So I break it down to the simplest way possible. And that's what the Hosting Vault is really an e learning platform for people that are interested to get into the short term rental space, whether it's, renting your apartment, renting your house, or whatever the case may be, and eventually get to the point of actually running an actual business. So the Hosting Vault is meant to teach you, and then finally you get into the actual space of renting out.
And the entrepreneurship side of it?
So when it comes to the entrepreneurial side of it, I think it's with the Hosting Vault itself, it's just a learning platform. With me, I am teaching,
Okay.
right? So I sell this short-term rental courses, different courses at that, whether it's co-hosting, rental arbitrage, on-property hosting, experience hosting, service hosting. There's so many.
Yeah.
Airbnb cleaning business.
But you have your own Airbnbs that you host
Yes,
as
yes.
well.
I do have my own Airbnbs that I host as well. Have been hosting for the past 4 years.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Honors.
It's been an honors at hosting. Trust me, it's an honors at hosting because it's not
Yeah.
easy. There are challenges in this business. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing that I always try to teach about a lot so that when someone is eventually in the space, they're not shocked.
A bachelor's degree in genetics and microbiology and vets. Sifike njani la?
Yo!
From that to this, what happened? Did you
You,
pursue anything with that
oh
qualification?
Lord.
And what happened?
You know, I always say Verts was my training ground. That
It gave you
university,
the edge.
literally, that was a training ground for me. I loved what I did. I mean, I studied sciences in high school. I was very adamant on what I wanted to do. However, I think there is something that I didn't notice, and maybe it just goes back to the type of parents that we have. My mom was adamant that I must be a doctor, and obviously that didn't go her way. I ended up doing sciences. But throughout my high school life, I had little businesses that I used to do, and I feel like the calling was clear.
I
But then
mean,
now there's this fight between me
yeah.
and mom. Mom is like, you're gonna do sciences, and I'm
Yeah.
like, but I love business. So it was almost like, let me make her happy, but then eventually I'm gonna do what I love.
What is genetics and microbiology?
Oh, wow.
What happens there?
A whole lot of microorganisms, a whole lot of genes and stuff. But basically, it's the study of life. I think if I simplify it for someone, it's just the study of life, microorganisms, to the smallest of things, to the biggest of things, understanding physiology of all things. Yeah.
Never worked in there, like not a day.
Not a day.
Wow.
Not a day.
Your mom is like this girl.
Trust me.
Wits is not cheap.
If there's one thing, though, that I learned in university, like I said, resilience. The program that I took was not an easy one. And it needed a lot of consistency, a lot of dedication, a lot of
Focus.
commitment,
Yeah.
which is something that I use a lot now in my business.
So it wasn't a waste.
No, it definitely wasn't. I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
Okay. Look, just a degree on its own, there's certain life skills. I mean, with every CV out there, the first thing they look at is, did you finish a 3 or 4 year diploma or degree? It says a lot about a person's patience, focus, everything that you've listed. So even if you don't end up operating in the space, but the fact that you stayed in that school and you finished that thing, my sister, it's already a door inside whatever you are applying for.
Trust. And I really feel like it was necessary for me to go through that route. I mean, it's easy for me to say, I wish my mom let me study something in business, but I don't think that would have been the correct path.
But
So,
did you ask?
no, I didn't. I was scared. How do you even, how do you ask?
Mommy, you see me selling at school. Are you sure
And trust me,
I want to be a doctor? Because I'm
oh
not sure.
Lord, I mean, it was a fight. It was a fight. I remember when I was going to register, it was a real fight. But eventually she gave up. She was like, okay, you can do what you want to do, but if it's possible, you must apply, to go and do medicine. I was like, no, we're not doing that.
But we're here now.
We are here now.
Yeah, I like the name, the hosting vault. It's very fitting and it could be this or that. So
Yes.
your mind starts running wild the minute you see that name and you see, okay, it's Airbnb, but what else is in it? So just take us through what a beginner can expect with your masterclasses and just being part of the hosting vault in itself.
So let's start with the masterclasses. I always try to start by giving you the different models within the short-term rental space that you could, start with as someone who's never had anything, about the short-term rental space. So we've got the Air-BnB for beginners, which basically takes you through the Air-BnB platform itself, how to operate it, what is it, what should you expect inside of the platform. I've got the Air-BnB Marketing 101, which is basically taking you through that. You should not rely on the platform itself alone to get you guests, but you should learn other skills that can allow you to get your very own guest. Then we've got the co-hosting 101 as well, which is the mastery course that teaches you how to manage other people's Airbnbs. Now, a lot of people think that Airbnb is one-sided. I need to rent a property and then sublet it, or I need to buy a property and
Or
then
own it.
Oh, yes, own a property. But with co-hosting, you are able to manage other people's properties. It's not the easiest of field to get into, but definitely one of the most rewarding ones, especially if you get it right.
Okay.
Okay. And then we've got the on-property hosting, and that's for the individuals that own property. So many people own property and they actually find themselves at shortfalls every single month because owning a property is a different ball game, right? So the
No idea.
owning a property is not easy. So I wanted to give those people an opportunity to also make, significant money and not always having to pay extra from out of pocket.
Yeah.
And that's what the short-term rental space allows. A lot of
Okay.
people may be indifferent about it, but if you are finding yourself as a property owner at the verge of losing a property, because I've got a lot of my students that have such situations. And what my courses have done is allow them to really be able to get out of that situation whereby you're at a foreclosure of your house, and then having a short-term rental saves you from that.
So you said 3 models.
There's 8 models.
8 models. Okay, let's speak about a beginner and also let's speak pricing because I want people to also get a sense of how accessible this thing is. I mean, sometimes we always look at things, feel like things are expensive before we even check. I mean, go to my thing and check if you can afford the course. But let's do it here. Like, let's break it down. A beginner's course that you can suggest and how much it is, and you can touch on all the other courses also on how much they are and what.
Okay, let's start with, if I was to start an Airbnb business, what options do I have?
Yes.
You've got the option to start with 0 rands, and you've got an option to start with some money. So if you're starting with 0 rands, the models that allow you to do that is co-hosting, experience hosting, and service hosting. Those are the models that allow you to start with 0 rands. So those are the 3 courses that I could recommend for someone who's saying, I really want to get into the space, but honestly, I do not have startup capital.
Afford it, yeah.
And then for the people that have some capital, I would recommend rental, arbitrage mastery, the on-property hosting if you already own a property, as well as the Airbnb cleaning business.
Okay.
So there's a couple. So with rental arbitrage, you do need significant money. With on property, you do need some money. So if you're saying I don't have money, then the first 3 that I gave. And if you're saying that I do have money to start, then rental arbitrage would be the one to take, or on property hosting.
Yeah.
And then most of my courses are very affordable, funny enough.
How affordable?
Too affordable.
No, when you say it.
It's 500 Rand affordable. That affordable. So obviously, if you're taking more than one course, it's 500 Rand per course.
Okay.
Yeah. But I try to make it as affordable as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what informs your mentorship programs? Do you think it's pure experience, or there is a best practice that you look at, or it's just from starting? How did you put this program together?
I made it such that as a complete beginner, you'd be able to navigate. So whether you are coming as someone that has no clue what they are doing, or you're coming as someone that has some experience but need to have some understanding of some of the things within the space, then still the courses are best fitting for you. So everyone is welcome.
Nah.
Yes.
Look, we need to speak about the profitability of short-term renting. How profitable is it? And is the demand there for this type of service?
That's a big question. And I don't think it's one that a lot of people are ready to hear. Not all markets are going to work. So there's specific markets that do well and some markets that don't do well at all. If you are thinking of starting your Airbnb business, the first step is a market research analysis. You need to understand your market. And if we do that, then it goes all the way to your Cape Town area being one of the best spots where you can have an Airbnb, Durban being one of the best spots where you can have your Airbnb, and then other areas.
Yeah.
So what we check there is for occupancy rates to understand exactly, on average per month, how much am I able to get in terms of people booking? Is it 50%?
Very important.
Is it 60%? Is it 70%? And if it's 50%, it's 50% of how much per night. So that then determines how much you're going to make. So I'm going to give you a very quick example of a 1-bedroom apartment in Gauteng, for example. A 1-bedroom apartment in Gauteng typically goes for anything between 750 to about 1,300 per night.
Okay.
And the occupancy this side is about 50%. You are lucky to get to about 70 to 80%. Also, again, dependent on area within Gauteng. Are you in Sandton? Are you in Rosebank? Where are you? Roodepoort, not such a great spot. So everything has to do with your...
But doesn't mean they are not there.
No, it doesn't mean they are not there, but you're not going to make enough. So if you want to make enough, if you want to make some profit, your market is very important.
True. So yeah, that's a very honest answer.
Yeah, no, I have to be honest.
Because people
mind
just,
you, people take loans. So I remember I had a student say, I took out a loan to buy furniture, and now it's not working. I'm not making any profit. And I was like, where is this Airbnb located? And when she gave me where it was located, at that point I knew this is not going to work. She needs to move.
So when you mentioned that, I want to come into the partnership. Let's say I want to be a co-host, and CD has a house, and she needs someone to assist her to manage having the guests, looking after the place, whatever is involved in co-hosting. How does the exchange work? Who buys what? All of that. You just mentioned now that someone said, I just put up all of this furniture. Whose pocket is all of that money coming from? And how do now the owner and the co-host get to negotiate a suitable rate that is fair?
I love that question because a lot of people that want to get into co-hosting have that misconception that they have to contribute in the purchasing of the furniture or whatever. But the simplest way to understand co-hosting is that you're an employee. You are employed by the host or you are employed by the owner of the property. Thus, all things setting up the Airbnb should fall on the owner of the property. So, as the owner of the property, you are the one who's responsible for furnishing the space. You are the one who's responsible for all things operational cost. All that your co host is doing is assisting you with managing that. And they are either getting a salary from you or they are getting a percentage of the total revenue that was received for the month by the Airbnb. Meaning, if we had 60% occupancy and we
Yeah.
made about 20,000 rents for that
Yeah.
month, and me and you agreed on a 30% cut, it means that you get 70%, I get 30% of that 20,000.
Okay.
So that's how it works. Whether you are being offered a set salary or you are being offered a hybrid model whereby it's a set salary and a commission, or it could only be commission based.
Okay. And all of this definitely needs to be on contract.
Yes.
Are there people that are still operating in good faith?
Trust, they are.
I trust you, Akhuya, with
They
my
are-
mouth.
Yo, they still are
That I
people
will
who
get
do
my
that. You
30%.
need to sign a co-hosting agreement. You need to sign a co-hosting agreement with the owner of the property and also have a clause in place that clearly state what happens if they decide not to pay you. Because
Yeah.
remember, you are getting through that month, assisting with operations, and you are hoping that month end, if we made 30,000, you are
Yeah.
still gonna get your 30%. And if someone doesn't do that, what
Yeah.
then happens?
And this is outside of the security and protection policy of Airbnb in itself because it has its own.
Yes. So all things operational cost, including the service fees by Airbnb, are the owners.
Okay.
If we made 15,000 total after Airbnb has taken its money, that's the money that I'm supposed to get a cut from.
How much
as your
money does
co-host.
Airbnb take?
We were at 14, but now we're at 15.5 as of the 1st of December.
And what influences that increase?
A range of things. Hey, I mean, obviously, increase in prices, overall economy.
course.
Yeah. So I think their decision to also give us that 1.5% increase may have been influenced by that a lot. Yeah.
I also saw something on your platform where you were saying you put out a very humorous video where you said your guest is sending you a message at 10 a.m. There's no toilet paper. Now you have to wake up and go find toilet paper at that time. Obviously, it's those small things that influence your reviews. How important is it to have that list of those little things that influence the reviews that you want for that particular space?
I love that you said it was humorous because that's exactly what I was
It's
going
funny
for.
until it's not, until you need to wake up at
And
at
I
10.
wanted the next person or the next host who's watching that video to not feel like I'm attacking them, but really think about operations because operations is
Yeah.
everything. Having a short term rental is a full fledged business. So, part of what you do with your cleaners is ensure that all things that you need in the apartment are there. You do not want to be called for trivial things. Let me be called for there's no electricity. It's beyond my control. I can understand and make a plan on how I can
Yeah,
assist.
true.
But a tissue, no, we shouldn't be having that.
It's a very big oversight.
It is a huge oversight.
Yeah. I think you've also mentioned that there are other businesses that come out from this short-term rental space. Popular one, cleaning services.
Love that one.
Take us through that.
I love that one. It's my favorite because a lot of people don't see the income potential of that. Mind you, if I have an Airbnb, right, and on average, I only allow 2 nights minimum stay. We've got 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
So if I'm allowing a minimum 2 night stay, it means if I'm only having 2 night stays, I would have about 3 of those.
Okay.
And after each stay, a cleaner is needed.
Every day or after?
After a stay. So after a 2 night stay is completed, on a checkout day, a cleaner is needed there.
Yes.
Then if I have a checkout check-in on the same day, another 2 night stay, a cleaner is needed then. So on average, in a week, you could be requested to come and clean 3 times. And if you are charging 400 Rand per cleaning session, how much is that?
I actually want to put my helper onto that.
It's an excellent side
Yeah,
hustle until it becomes a real business because the more units you are managing, it means the more, people you're going to need.
Yeah.
It's an excellent business. And a lot of people are not seeing it. A lot of people are so excited about rental arbitrage or I want to buy property and then do it. And on that note, with the people that want to start Airbnb owning a property, I would say that make sure you take at least 6 months of research. Because then, unlike someone who's doing rental arbitrage, they have the option to, let go of the lease.
Yeah.
When you purchase a property, you have 20-year commitment. You cannot just decide.
Just clarify rental arbitrage again.
Rental arbitrage is when you rent a property, get permission from the landlord to then sublet it. Remember, most clauses for rental say that you cannot
Yes,
sublet.
you can't sublease, yes.
So you need to be allowed permission by the landlord,
Okay.
and the landlord needs to have gotten permission
Yes.
from the body corporate
People
as well.
do it, especially this time of the year.
They
We see
do.
you. You're gonna say I went home when you didn't go home. You found someone to come and stay. I mean, Cape Town people want to come to Joburg.
Yes.
Joburg people want to go to Devon.
Yes.
So someone just does that, and it's illegal. And
It
they
is.
know it though.
You need to get permission. It's very important to get permission so that you don't find yourself on the wrong side of the law, because it's not your property.
And it's not. Besides this one, what are other common challenges that one can expect in this space?
Sure. Excom. And I'm saying it so low.
Excom.
Power outages.
Elephant in the room.
Oh, power outages. This year alone dealt with me severely. Power outages are the worst. At this point, it's no longer, we're having load shedding. It's proper power outages whereby 3 days without
Yeah, that go
electricity.
for
And you
days.
have a guest that is booked for a whole month. I think my worst one this year was
What do you do?
I had to get a power station. I had to buy a power station. But also, it can only power so much. It cannot power the fridge. It can only do the television, plug their small appliances. At that point, if you have someone staying for 7 days or 2 weeks or to a month, they are complaining because their food is going off. So that's one of the biggest ones. And then the second biggest one is theft, believe it or not.
I mean, where are we? We are in South Africa.
Hosting in South Africa is not for the faint-hearted, okay? And a lot of new hosts are shocked. I remember I read from one of my colleagues that also does what I do. There's a TikToker who commented that she listed her unit and she got a booking, and the next day when she got there, there was nothing in the apartment. They stole everything.
Baphume kanjani?
Awu, baphuma kahle nje.
Isn't there like security at the gate? Come on.
It happens a lot.
What's the best way now to prevent this particular? What do you do for your Airbnbs to, what's English? Circumvent.
Yeah, that's a big word.
I hope it's right. It's not the one.
You know what? So what we do, it doesn't really prevent, but at least it scares them a bit. Okay.
Okay.
An indemnity form. That's a standard procedure that has to be signed before you can come into the property. I need to know who you are, where are you from, and that you are indeed coming into the property.
ID copy?
Yes, ID copy is the second thing that we request. I also go an extra mile and check on Truecaller. I check your number on Truecaller to make sure that this is a number you are using regularly. I mean, if I check you on Truecaller and you're not on Truecaller, it means that it's a new number. Why do you have a new number? At the age that you're at, why would you be having a new number,
True.
So if you're on Truecaller and some people have saved you, I can say, okay, this person is saved on Truecaller, meaning they are called often. And then the other one is having a smart door cam. I have smart door cams in all my apartments. Now, fortunately for me, it's my apartments. If you're doing rental arbitrage, it becomes a challenge to, install something like that without the owner's approval.
So you change when they leave, you change the access code every time?
Yes, I change the access code every time. So I've got a smart door lock and a smart door camera. So the camera is able to record outside and see who's coming into the apartment. So if, for example, a one bed only takes a minimum of 2 people, the minute I see that there's 3-4 people coming into the apartment, I'm alerting my security to say that no, that shouldn't be the case. Yeah.
Let's not speak about the doom and gloom. I'm sure there's been interesting moments and biggest takeaways, fulfilling moments. What have those been for you, where you felt like, now this is why I started doing this, that type of feeling,
Yeah, I think when I was able to get my third unit, and providing proof to the bank that this business is indeed working, and getting them to agree to give me another bond.
So you had to register as the hosting vault?
Yes, I had to register as the hosting vault. That was very important. Obviously, when you do business on TikTok, it's very tricky to not be a registered business, because obviously so much is happening. So registering it was very, very important. And it has done some good for us, because then we seem very credible as we are, and that helps business overall.
Yeah. I tend to believe sometimes there is a certain character trait that every profession an individual needs to possess.
Okay.
But we don't speak about it enough. You know, if you're
Which
not a
one?
patient person, you shouldn't be working at certain places.
Especially in teaching.
Yeah, for example. So, what would you say a character trait that someone definitely should possess when they come into the space? Or I don't think it's a necessary experience though, but more of a character trait maybe?
Patience, definitely. I mean, you're working with people, different personalities, different backgrounds.
That attitude.
Yeah, you need to be
That time you want money.
you need to be a very patient person. You need to be willing to understand different people, understand their standpoint, and the customer is always right.
There's a
The
reason why
customer
it was
is
said.
always right.
Yeah.
So even when you feel that, oh my word,
I want to
what do
punch
you
her right now.
mean? You cannot do that. In the calmest of ways, you handle it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely something one should have. And discipline also, discipline with money, because remember, we don't always have up seasons. Currently, we're having an up season. I'm very happy.
Yes.
But June, July is the worst.
And it's
Winter
winter.
is
Yeah.
terrible. So you also need to have discipline with money to know how to spend, when to spend, and spending wisely. And I think the other thing that a lot of new hosts are not realizing is tax.
Is
Tax.
ticks.
Yes. So a lot of people are receiving Airbnb money in their normal
Yeah.
accounts, and that is a big no. SARSman is watching you. So these are some of the things that we're teaching at the hosting vault.
Oh,
Yeah, these are
okay.
some of the things that we are teaching at the
Ticks.
hosting vault. It may seem
What you say,
like, yeah,
ticks?
you need to be in
Hey,
good
the
standing.
taxman is always
Oh,
watching.
they don't play.
And rather just get it done before they come knocking,
Yes, yes. That's
honestly.
what I teach my students. I'm like, you need to just be in the right side of the law. It's okay. They will tell you that you don't need to pay anything, but don't think that you don't need to pay anything.
And your overall advice to anyone who's like, just by listening to you today, I'm in, I'm convinced, let me start. Dilapha ngoku, I'm in.
I would say it's possible for you to leave with the short-term rental space money. It's
Yeah.
very much possible. It's possible for you to provide for your family. It's possible for you to make it in this space as long
Yeah.
as you have the right attitude. Yeah,
Discipline.
and discipline. And discipline. Very, very important to be disciplined.
I would love to for the extra money part of it. But I'm doing a lot of things, but it's
Yeah, it
I've
needs
been
time, hey? It does need time. It
yeah.
needs time. If you're not going to be employing a co-host, someone who's going to assist you, that means 100% the business is relying on you. You are the one responding to guests. You need to be reachable at all times.
Yes.
There could be emergencies that need you right now. So
Yeah.
you do need to be someone who's always, I always say my phone is a switchboard. I'm called 24/7.
Sure. Yeah.
So a lot, you know what? I think the other thing that really made me want to start the hosting vault, I realized that people were being told, "Oh yeah, I started my Airbnb business and I'm living life freely." That is a big misconception about this business.
Yeah, because they literally made it out as if the business you start and then it runs itself.
No,
It's not like that.
it's not like that. It's not like that. Real hosting needs you to be present 24/7
Yeah.
because someone could literally send you a message at 10
Yeah.
and tell you that the geyser has
And who
passed.
must respond?
You need to respond. So tell me,
Exactly.
where is the freedom there?
Yeah, that's where I have a problem.
There's no freedom. There's no freedom.
Akhuya, where can people access information on the hosting vault? Like I found it on your TikTok
media.
and the masterclasses. Do you have a website? Or any other services that you are providing in the space? How can people find you?
They can definitely find me online. TikTok. TikTok is the best place. We're trying to have a Facebook coming up and Instagram, but mostly very active on TikTok because that's the space that a lot of people seem to gravitate towards more than anything. So yeah, TikTok, the hosting vault, you definitely find us there. If you type the hosting vault, you should be able to find us. There is no other hosting vault.
And is there a website?
Not yet, not yet,
Okay.
but we are working on that. I think early next year, that's something that will be up.
So when someone wants to make a payment, how do you now handle
Oh,
that?
so our online e-learning platform is via a platform called School, Skool.
Yes.
Yes, you are able to actually pay for the classes directly on the platform.
And access the
Yes, and
material
access
there
the
as
material
well.
immediately there. Yeah,
Yeah. Done and dusted.
just like that.
Iphelile.
Penny. I hope it was enough information.
Yeah, I
For
think, look,
someone who.
all my questions are answered.
That's good.
And look, if there's anyone that wants to ask any more questions, I'm sure they can find you on
Yes,
TikTok.
yes,
I think you have a WhatsApp number there. They can
yes,
also
yes. They can
WhatsApp
also
you
WhatsApp me there.
and reach you. Thank you
Yes.
so much for
Thank
coming.
you for having me. It
Thank
was very
you.
relaxing chatting with you.
Well, yeah,
It always seems so overwhelming when you're thinking about it, but yeah, it was
yeah,
amazing. Thank you so much for
yeah.
inviting me. I
Everything is
appreciate it.
all about starting and then you get into it.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And please don't forget what I said. We still need the numbers to grow a little podcast into something bigger. We still need 1,000 followers on YouTube, guys. Don't just watch. Please subscribe. We need the support. Please stay tuned at us getting back into things and having more conversations and content for you in the coming episodes. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.